There, happy Halloween. Today for Halloween, the moon goes into Pisces, where we connect with a bigger picture, maybe helping that veil between the worlds that is becoming thinner, to help us connect with what lies beyond the everyday and the ordinary. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Friday, October 31st. So the moon goes into Pisces at 4:45 a.m. Pacific time, after being in Aquarius, where we have that freedom, breakthrough, shake up energy that brings hopefully insights and epiphanies, and hopefully not anything that shakes up your life in those harder ways, more challenging ways. But even when the challenges come, it's all about how we take care of ourselves through them. So, as the moon enters Pisces on Friday morning, it forms a T square with an opposition between Mercury and Uranus. So, Uranus is the energy of the higher mind, consciousness, thinking outside the box, and ideas that get us outside of ordinary thinking. Mercury is about everyday thinking and problem solving and the here and now and how we deal with and uh, make those approach things through our thinking in everyday ordinary ways. So it's an opposition between our everyday ordinary mind and our higher mind that wants a higher consciousness, that wants to get outside the box. And so those two parts of ourselves can be in conflict, at odds with one another. Mercury in Sagittarius saying, go with the ideas that are here in front of you. Go with the beliefs. Go with the beliefs that feel comfortable. Go with the story, the narrative that's here right in front of you. And Uranus says, get outside the box, shake it up, get curious, question the status quo, question your own thinking, even, right? Ask those bigger picture questions. Why do we do that? Why have we always done that way, right? Why? Whatever it is. Why don't we think about it this way? Right? So getting away from those ordinary approaches to problems and shifting into that higher consciousness and new possibilities of approaches, perspectives, and how we can think about problems and anything else. The moon entering Pisces activates that Gemini Sagittarius opposition with Uranus in Gemini and Mercury in Sagittarius. And the moon itself is in this boundary dissolving sign of Pisces that brings a feeling of interconnectedness, but also dissolving and blurring boundaries, blurring our ability to discern, our ability to see what is true and right. So, in the context of the moon, which is the mood of the day, moon is the mood of the day, um, getting us to lose ourselves in the bigger picture, to feel things that maybe don't belong to us, and to connect. Well, we can connect with our imagination, our dreams, our fantasies, but we need to be clear about, what our true desires are, because a fantasy might be leading us off track. If we're just believing in a fantasy, that can pull us away from our real capacity to invest in the actual steps it takes to make something happen tangibly. So instead of the fantasy where you're just sitting around on your laurels waiting for something to work out or happen, let's shift or reframe this thinking into, how do we imagine a future, a dream, something that is meaningful to us, something that is important in the big picture, something that matters, a principle, a feeling, right? Something that is significant and meaningful. And then how do we take the steps to make that happen? And that bigger picture, or that fantasy that is like, oh, we don't have to do the steps, right? Because we're just hoping it will work out. But instead, we are on this path to say, here's what we want, here's why we want it, and here's what we are doing to help bring it into tangible reality, to help manifest it. But when we say manifest, I don't mean that it just pops into existence. I mean that you take the steps to help make it take shape. So what are those steps, right? There are lots of different components to that journey of manifestation. Some of them have to do with our actions, some of them have to do with our thinking, some of them have to do with our beliefs and what we believe is possible, our perspectives. Some of them have to do with communication, with work that we do in relationships, right? There are so many dimensions to how we manifest something. But our self care in that process speaks to how we see what is the next step and the next step and the next step. And when we take care of our own needs, our own self care, we're more able to see what those steps are. So that opposition between Mercury and Uranus is also asking us to find that balance between our everyday thinking and what we need to do next and how we think about things and where we might need to shift that thinking to a new perspective, open to new possibilities, new ideas, new thoughts, and new ways of how we think about things. So those bigger picture shifts in thinking and consciousness will again help us to to bring that dream into being. And so we have to know what the dream is. We have to connect with our why, our big why, what brings meaning into our lives, what our hearts want, and then the Mercury Uranus opposition is saying, how are you going to open to new ways of thinking that will be in alignment with that dream? So, those are some of the themes for today. And with the Halloween energy, again, there's also that thinning of the boundary between life and death, between the here and the, what's in that bigger picture, between yourself and other beings, the feelings that are around you being more right, the energy being more permeable, so we can feel things more easily, more psychic information. So all of that is active during this Halloween Pisces moon. The moon will continue in Pisces for most of the weekend. So working with this bigger picture of the ability to imagine, dream, and connect with what gives meaning to your life. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com, and my member site, transformationalastrology.com, is where I have more blog posts and videos and more information, and working there to build a community together. So hopefully you can join me over there. Thanks again for being here and for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I so appreciate your support, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.